Yo, what's going on, guys? Back again with another video. So in this video, I'm pretty much just going to be going over what I have on my car in order to make 400 horsepower. So right now I'm making either 400 or like 420. I'm not exactly sure. I've never dynoed my car, but it is between 400 to 420. And my car is a 2012 BMW F30 335i. So these numbers, they're going to be the same for like are similar to for a 335i or a 340i. If you guys have like a 330 or like a 328 or even a 320i, it's going to be a little bit different. The numbers are going to be a little bit less, but this video is still a good guide to like show you guys what you need in order to make more power out of your car. So if I'm making like 400, 420, if you guys have like a 340i, you're going to be making more. You're probably going to be making like 450, 470, somewhere around there. And if you have like a 320h, 330i, it's going to be probably like where I'm getting 400, you guys might get like 350. I'm not exactly sure though. And a 320i is probably going to be like 330, 320 or something like that. But pretty much so I make a bunch of POVs. I always tell you guys like my car is stage 2 plus, fully bolt on, this and that. But it turns out a bunch of people actually don't really understand what like the whole thing means, and I completely get that, because before I got this car I also didn't know like all of that stuff, like fully bolt on. I didn't know what any of that stuff means. So I'm just going to be explaining it to you guys. I have a little list here with everything I've done to my car. So the first thing, I'm just going to pop the hood, show you guys what's up. But the first thing, I'm going to explain to you guys what fully bolt on is. So fully bolt on is pretty much like bolt on parts, so you can install them yourself. It doesn't require any welding or anything like that. And it's bolt on parts for the engine, so you change the basic engine parts, like the little plastic things that BMW comes with, and you put on better stuff pretty much. So it's not the cleanest engine make, but to start off, that's what fully bolt on is pretty much. Fully bolt on is just like, this is a cold air intake, and before, like, you guys are not going to have this in your car stock. You're just going to have the little box right there for the air filter. So this is a bolt-on part, because this is where I swapped it out. So the regular like air filter thing, it's usually right here. I just literally unscrewed it and put this one on instead. So that's a bolt-on part. Another bolt-on part is my charge pipe. So this is a charge pipe, that little one that says BRSF. So it's pretty much the same as stock, only thing, it's not plastic. So the stock one is plastic, and that's an aluminum one. So that's what bolt-on is pretty much. So you guys should get a rough like idea of what I'm talking about. So that's what bolt-on is. And when people say fully bolt-on, it means they have everything changed. So all the bolt-on parts that I have is a catless downpipe or intercooler, a charge pipe, cold air intake, which is that, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have that's bolt-on. So this is the intercooler, not the intercooler, my bad. This is the intake, that's the charge pipe down there, and the intercooler is this big thing, like you guys can see it behind the mesh, like the big square thing. Yeah. And then the catless downpipe is that there. So you can't really see it, but that thing where my finger is, yeah, it's a bit darker down there though, but that's a catless downpipe. So pretty much that's what bolt-on is. And not all bolt-on parts give you more horsepower. Only some of them do. So the catless downpipe actually gives you more horsepower. Like once you install it, it's going to make your car sound way better. It's going to give you more pops. And yeah, that's pretty much what it does. But there's other parts like that doesn't give you horsepower right away, but you're going to need them in order to get a tune. So like I said, the catless downpipe gives you horsepower right away. The intake, which is this, some people say it gives you horsepower, some say it doesn't, but if it does, it's probably like only like 5 horsepower difference. The main thing it does, it makes your car sound sick. So you're gonna have some cool little like whistle noises. I'll put a clip for you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much all it does, and it makes your car breathe way better. So it takes in way more air. It makes the cooling system better in your car. And same for the intercooler. Like this big thing down here, it doesn't give you more horsepower, it just makes your car run cooler. Because when you're pushing more power, if you don't have the bigger intercooler, like the upgraded one, the stock one, like the base stock pretty much means like the one from factory, the stock one is way too, like it's not good enough. Your car is just going to be running way too hot. So that's what that does. And same for the charge pipe, that thing there. So that thing, yeah, so it doesn't give you more horsepower. But usually, like from BMW, you get a plastic one on your car. And even when your car is stock, like without a tune or anything, because I broke mine, like it just completely blew off because it was plastic and almost messed my car up. So yeah, it doesn't give you more horsepower, but I changed it to an aluminum one now from VRSF. But now at least it won't break, you know, it can handle the power that you put to it. So all the bolt-on parts are not gonna make your car fast. The intake just makes your car sound better, and the catless downpipe is gonna make it slightly faster. It's gonna sound a little bit better, and the pops are gonna be louder, but that's it, you know. So in order to make 400 horsepower now, you need a tune. Oh damn, this thing is actually not even straight. You need to fix that. But yeah, so in order to make the 400 horsepower like I am making, you need a tune. But in order to get a tune, you're gonna need all of those parts, because when you get a tune and you're pushing more power, if you guys have the stock parts, the basic parts, your car's gonna break pretty much. So you need a tune, and you need the bolt-on parts that can handle the power that the tune is gonna make. So there's different levels of tune though, and there's 2 different types of tune if I'm not wrong. So one type of tune is custom tune, where you put your car on a dyno, and like the people make the tune custom built for your car, like specifically for your car. So that might be a little bit better, I'm not sure. And then you have another type of tune, but that might be more expensive though. Like the custom tune might be more expensive, I have no clue, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And then the other type of tune, which is what I have, is an OTS tune. OTS means off the shelf. So it's just a tune that's made for your car, but it's not made specific to your car. So you put in the year, the make, and the model of your car. So I put in a 2012 BMW F30 335i with the N55 engine. And there is 2 main sources that people buy tunes from for these cars. And there has to be more out there, I'm not sure, but these are the only 2 I would suggest, and the only 2 that everyone uses. It's MHD, that's what I have. And then you have BM3 or Boot Mode 3, that's just another name for it. So those are the 2, but I have MHD just because it was cheaper and it had a feature that I preferred. So that's pretty much the 2 types of tunes. And then you have, but other from the types of tunes, you have different levels of a tune. So I have MHD, but you have stage 1. I'm just gonna close this down, give you guys a better walk around of the car. But so pretty much you have different levels of a tune. So MHD, BM3, all the same. Like you have different levels of the tune. So I am stage 2 plus, but you have different levels. So you have stage 1, which is the most basic. It gives you more power, but it's not anything crazy. So in order to go stage 1 with these cars, you actually don't need to do anything to the car. You can literally just buy the tune, but your charge pipe, 90% is gonna break because it's just a plastic one, because I broke mine without even a tune. So that's gonna break pretty much. And the charge pipe, mine was from VRSF for 300. And yeah, you can get cheaper options though. You could get it from like CTS Turbo or like other places. Once you get an aluminum one, you're gonna be chilling. But I got mine from VRSF. It was 300 Canadian. All the prices here are in Canadian. So yeah, stage 1, you don't need anything, but trust me, you're gonna break your charge pipe, so might as well upgrade it. So yeah, you can go stage 1 with these cars, a 335i. Stage 1 tune I think gives you around 370 horsepower, and that's with the 335i though. For a 320i or like a 328, 330, I'm not exactly sure how much stage 1 gives you. It definitely gives you more power though. But for a 340i, if I'm getting 370, I think a 340i might be getting like 390 with a stage 1 tune. So yeah, that's pretty much all you need for stage 1. And then you have the stage above stage 1 is stage 2. So it's pretty much the most common ones you're going to see is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, but you'll barely see someone with a stage 3 tune, because stage 3 is mostly for track uses, and stage 3 requires like way more parts. So usually people only go stage 1, stage 2, or like stage 2 plus, which is what I have. So stage 2 plus is just slightly higher than stage 2, but all the parts I have all the required parts for stage 2 plus, which is why I went with stage 2 plus and not just a regular stage 2. So like I said, for stage 1, all you need is a charge pipe and the tune. That's it. And you're going to be pushing like 370 horsepower, so almost 400. But if you guys want to push the 400 mark, then you're going to need stage 2. But to get to stage 2, you're definitely going to need a catless downpipe. I'm pretty sure you need a catless downpipe, and you're going to need the charge pipe, of course, because you need a charge pipe for stage 1, so obviously you need it for stage 2. So the charge pipe and the catless downpipe. My catless downpipe was from VRSF as well. That's for 367, but like I mentioned, you can get cheaper ones if you went to like CTS Turbo or like somewhere else. CTS Turbo for sure though is good, and it should be cheaper than VRSF. But yeah, there might be other options out there. I'm not sure, but the only ones I would recommend to you guys is CTS Turbo or VRSF for all the parts that I have. That's all I use pretty much. So that's for stage 2. So if you want to get stage 2, you're going to be spending 367 on a catless downpipe, give or take, and that's brand new. You can also get one used. and the charge pipe is 300 plus the tune. So the tune I have is actually for $740. So I know it sounds expensive, but that's MHD, and MHD is cheaper than BM3 or boot mode 3, same thing. So yeah, I would be spending like 900 if I went with BM3, but I just went MHD instead, and it could have been cheaper with MHD if I got the single thing. So you can either buy the specific tune you want. So I'm Stage 2 Plus. I could have went with just the Stage 2 Plus and it would be cheaper, but I bought the whole package so I can switch between Stage 1, Stage 2 Plus. I can switch between any one whenever I want. So I just went with that. It's slightly more expensive, but I thought it was worth it, so I still got it, you know. So it would have been cheaper though if I just went to Stage 2 Plus. I could have, because I don't really use Stage 1 or anything. I've never used Stage 1 before. I've only been using Stage 2 Plus. So that would be cheaper. But yeah, so for Stage 2 Plus, for Stage 2, I think Stage 2 with the 335i N55 engine, you're going to be pushing like 390 or like 400. And if you guys have like a 340i, you might be pushing like 400, 410. I'm not exactly sure. My numbers might be off, but 340i is slightly faster than these cars. So yeah, Stage 2, you're going to be getting like 400. So for Stage 2, like I said, all you need is charge pipe, catless downpipe, and the tune. So 300 plus 367 plus 740. And like I said, the numbers can be cheaper for you guys if you went with like cheaper parts, or like if you just bought the Stage 2 tune and not the whole package like I did. So yeah, but like I mentioned though, I have Stage 2 Plus on my car. So for Stage 2 Plus, you have to get the intercooler, like that thing. And the intercooler was from VRSF as well, which is $379. So you do need it for Stage 2 Plus though, because your car is going to be running way more hot. So Stage 2 Plus, on the MHD website, it says it should give you 420 horsepower. So that's what I should be getting. I'm not exactly sure. So yeah, if you guys want to go Stage 2 Plus, then you have to get the catless downpipe, which is 367, the charge pipe, which is 300, and the intercooler, which is 379. Like I mentioned 1,000 times, you can get it for cheaper if you go with used parts, or if you go with like a different source, like CTS Turbo is going to be slightly cheaper, or like some other like brands. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's what you guys are going to need, plus the tune as well, of course. And the last thing is the intake. I'll just pop the hood again. The intake is something a bunch of people have, but it is not required, to be honest. But I would suggest it, just because it's going to make your car breathe a lot better, and it just sounds cool. It sounds really good. So the intake was from CTS Turbo, actually, not VRSF this time. And that was 360. So 360 from CTS Turbo. But I know there's a bunch of cheaper options for the intake as well. I just went with this one because a bunch of people said it's the best sounding one for the N55 engines, because you have other ones like InGen, and you have a bunch of other intakes you could use, but you don't need the intake. It's completely optional. Like I said, it was $360 Canadian, and I don't think it gives you horsepower. Like I said, if it does, it's probably only like 5 horsepower. But the main thing, it sounds super, super sick, and it makes your car breathe a lot better. So you guys don't need to get it, but I would suggest getting it. Like if you're getting everything else, might as well get that too. So yeah, in total now, like all the parts that I have, I'm pushing like 420 horsepower, give or take. And all the parts I have: a VRSF catless downpipe, which is 367, a VRSF intercooler, which is 379, a VRSF charge pipe, 300, CTS turbo intake, 360, MHD tune, which is 740, and the total comes out to 2,146. That's not including shipping for everything. And yeah, and labor as well. I installed all the parts myself, so I didn't have to pay a shop to do it. But if you guys get all of these parts and you bring it to a shop, they're gonna charge you a lot to install it. So if you guys can install them yourself, I would highly suggest doing that, because like before this, I've never installed these kind of parts on a car. Never. It's my first time doing everything, and I did it all myself, and it's running great. Like nothing has ever failed on me. Everything is running perfectly. All I did was watch YouTube videos and took my time and did it all myself, and I know I saved a lot of money, probably like $1,000. But yeah, like it is a lot of money, but to me it's worth it. If you guys love cars, it's gonna be worth it. And that's just because I'm stage 2 plus. Like I said, if you guys only went with stage 1, all you would need to change is the charge pipe. So yeah, that's pretty much all. And if you want stage 2, then you would have to change the charge pipe and the downpipe. But yeah, it's way easier than doing everything else. So if you guys don't want to go stage 2 plus, then you know, it's completely fine. Stage 1, you're already going to be pushing almost 400. Stage 2, you're going to be pushing 400. Stage 2 plus is like 420. That's if you have a 335i with the N55 engine. If you have a 340i stage 2 plus, like I'm getting 420 with the 340i, you're probably going to be getting like 450, 470. So yeah, those are way faster. And like I said, also if you have a 328, 330i or one of those ones, that's the 4-cylinder engines, they're going to be pushing less power. I'm not exactly sure the numbers, but it's going to be way faster than stock. So this video, like, you guys can still use this guide. You probably just won't get like 420 horsepower with the 328i, but it's still going to be way faster than what it is without a tune and all of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That should sum it up for this video. I hope like I gave you guys a good explanation of everything, because I feel like a bunch of people actually don't know everything, especially if they don't have one of these cars as yet and you want to get into one. Because before I had like my Lexus before this, I never did like performance mods to the Lexus, not even an intake, nothing. And I didn't know anything about fully bolt-on. I didn't know anything until I got this car and I started modding it myself. Then I learned. So if you guys don't have one of these cars, you might be just like me and don't know much about it. And I didn't even understand the tunes or anything. So yeah, I hope this video helped some of you guys. If you have any questions, though, feel free to ask me in the comments. I pretty much replied to all of my comments. So yeah, but that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys for watching again. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.